Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Come on in. All right. Come on in. Glad to see everybody here. Welcome. It's 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific. We're so glad to have you here with us for our business overview. My name is Jim Tanner, and we're right at the top of the hour. We're seeing, as you are, a bunch of people logging on. So I'm going to just talk and riff for about 20 seconds. We'll give folks a chance to get logged in, and I'll share some housekeeping with you also as we get started. And part of that housekeeping will be just to let you know that the way this is set up, if I did it correctly, you shouldn't be able to unmute unless you're one of our co-hosts or speakers this evening. So for our speakers, just make sure that you're muted right now for the sake of background noise. And for the rest of you, you can turn on your camera. We encourage that if you're someplace where it's safe to do so. And we'd love for you to communicate with us through the chat, which you'll see at the bottom right-hand side of your screen on your computer. And if you're on your phone, I honestly have no idea where it is, but I'm sure you'll figure it out. But what we'd like you to do in the chat is just share with us where you're zooming in from. I'm going to be kicking us off today. I'm going to introduce my co-presenter, and then I'm going to be back with some closing thoughts in a few minutes. But as I'm starting here with you today, I make my home in the Metro West area of Boston, Massachusetts. Basically, this is the suburbs west of the city, about 15 to 20 minutes west of Fenway Park for the baseball fans in attendance. And I'm excited to be here with you this evening. You're about to see information I saw for the first time 2 decades ago. I'm celebrating 20 years in this incredible business, involved in this business, doing what you're going to learn about tonight. It'll be February. It'll be 20 years to be exact. So I'm excited to be here with you. I'm seeing as the chat lights up, folks that are joining us really from all over the map. And it's so great to see that because we have this ability with Zoom to be able to communicate with each other. And some of you you're stepping away from maybe a meeting or you're on your way home from work. Some of you you're in between taking feeding the kids and having dinner and it's almost their bedtime. But you're going to see a theme throughout this presentation in the short amount of time that we're together, that we have a business here that you can operate from anywhere and where you get to wrap your business around your life. And I don't know if that's important to you, but that's exactly what I was looking for when I got started. Well, the technology, as it has progressed over the years since I got started, has allowed us to do that in more robust ways than ever before. So I'm glad that you're going to get to see this for yourself this evening. And let's get this presentation officially started. I'm going to turn it over here to my good friend, John Fehrenbach. Now, he's in the Ohio market, and Mr. Fehrenbach is one of our top business builders in the entire country. He'll tell a little bit of his story as he gets started. But Mr. Fehrenbach is someone that knows 100% of the information. So you're going to want to maybe even jot down some notes as he's talking today. He's someone that really loves to help people, and he's been doing that in a couple of years. He's been with us, really pouring into folks all around him and helping folks to get started quicker than they ever could have without his intervention, which is exciting in and of itself to have mentorship like that. And this is someone that just flat out likes to have fun. I've had a chance to be in places like Maui, Hawaii with John, and we have had a blast as we've been able to hang out together all across the map. So I'm going to step out of the way. I'll be back with some other thoughts here in a few minutes. Mr. John Fehrenbach, we're excited to hear from you today. Take it away.
Jim, thank you. Thank you for those kind words. Good evening, everybody. I am certainly excited to be with you here this evening. A little bit about me. I make my home in Louisville, Ohio. If you're familiar with the Pro Football Hall of Fame, I'm about 10, 15 minutes from there. So if you ever get up this way, make sure you reach out. We'll go have dinner or break some bread, whatever it takes to have a little bit of fun. This evening, I've been in this business a little over a couple of years now, and I've just been a sponge, learning from people like Jim and a number of people that are willing to pour into us. So tonight, I'm going to share information with you that was shared with me that got me just crazy excited about this business, and I'm thrilled to be sharing that same information with you. So if you give me a second to share my screen, excuse me. And you all should be able to see my screen. Great. Excuse me. Again, tonight I am going to direct a lot of my comments towards all of you that have been invited here this evening. Someone certainly thought enough about you to invite you to this Zoom to learn about the impact that we're having coast to coast across the U.S. and Canada. And again, we're certainly glad you're here with us. Tonight, we're going to be talking about your opportunity and your freedom. What we know is that the world has changed forever. People were working from home during a certain period in the past couple of years. People working from home in the past couple of years, and they want choices. They need choices. They want income choices. Figure out what kind of income they want and how they want to spend that income. They're looking for a better work-life balance, and they're choosing more flexibility and independence. And to a certain degree, in these uncertain times, doesn't it make sense to have some type of a backup plan? For me, I knew that a backup plan was to work some type of business. I knew that I could count on me, and I've never fired myself. I've never laid myself off. Given myself a stern warning now and again when I've made an error. I think the first error I made this year was admitting that I made an error. I knew that at the end of the day, I'd be building a future that I could never do as an employee. And we're going to talk more about that in a few minutes. Some of you are here today because you're evaluating your opportunities in the marketplace, maybe as you pivot to a new career or as a backup plan. And we'll share some information this evening for your consideration. But certainly, before we do that, with your permission, I'd like to ask you a question. Are you working for the right kind of income? First off, there's three types of income, basically. There's linear income, where you're literally trading time for money. You've made an agreement with somebody to work for 10, 20, 30, whatever it is per hour. You go and you spend the hours and you trade those hours for whatever that agreed on hourly amount was, or salary, whatever it was. You're trading your time for their money. And then there's leveraged income. Now, this is leveraged income is where you might build a team of people, and those people are out selling as agents, and you get a piece of everything that they do. An example of that might be an insurance broker or maybe a real estate broker, where they have a bunch of agents out there selling, and the broker gets a piece of each and every sale. That's leveraged income, where you're leveraging the work of a bunch of people. And then there's residual income. This is where the work you do today, tomorrow, next week, or maybe even next month will continue to pay off for years to come. This could certainly be a retirement plan. It's very similar to the royalties that music professionals get or actors get every time their song is played or a movie or maybe their TV series is aired. They get a little piece every time that happens. So that's residual income for work that they may have done years ago. It's literally disconnecting time from money. I've heard this called rollover money, where you roll over in bed and the money just never stops. We'll be discussing this a bit more in detail as we go on this evening. Now let's stop to consider the company. You're looking for a company that is rock solid and that stood the test of time. Now we know that startups can be a bunch of fun and they're exciting, and we also know that the upside is certainly unpredictable as much as they push it out into the future and how much they could possibly do. But being the upside is crazy unpredictable, the downside becomes certainly unpredictable as well. And the volatility of a startup is kind of crazy. We need to know if there is a need for their product in the marketplace. Does the product fill that need in an easy to use manner? And does the product, is the product easy to use? Can you get to it easily? And compensation. Are you compensated well for sharing the product with other people? And we need to know if the timing is right. Is this the right time for this company and its products? Now, a little bit about our company. Let me tell you about Mr. Harlan Stonecipher. He was in a car accident where he was not at fault. The other party who caused the accident was even cited by the State Highway Patrol. While he lay in the hospital recuperating from his injuries, an attorney had convinced the other party to file a lawsuit against Mr. Stonecipher. Again, he wasn't even at fault. He spent most of his life savings defending himself. Now, he was a pretty smart feller. He was a full-time teacher and an insurance agent, and he started to think about his situation. He noted that he had car insurance that would replace his car. He had health insurance that would handle all the hospital bills. And he also knew that if something tragic would have happened, he had life insurance to take care of his family. But he had nothing to help him with a lawsuit. So from that accident, a mission was born: equal access to justice. So from his kitchen table to this home office in Ada, Oklahoma, this 51-year-old company is protecting and empowering over 4.4 million people across the US and Canada. Our vision: to provide equal access to liberty, equality, opportunity, and justice that every human deserves. We've been written up in Forbes, CNBC, Yahoo, and Bloomberg publications. The company's been traded on the NASDAQ, the New York Stock Exchange, and then was acquired by MidOcean Partners for $650 million and is currently valued at over $2 billion. Why, might you ask? Well, we've mastered this thing called disruptive innovation, making things simpler, easier, and more affordable. Some examples of that you might use already in your life. Let's talk about Amazon. I'm sure a lot of you remember going to the shopping mall and walking around to this store for your tennis shoes and heading over to this store for some type of a dress shirt or a skirt if you're a lady, or dress pants. Amazon makes that simpler and easier by, you can sit at your desk at your house or sit on your couch with your phone, pull up that Amazon app and shop for whatever you need right through that app. And to boot, sometimes same day, next day, or 2 days later, it shows up at your doorstep. They're making things simpler, easier, and certainly more affordable. I don't know if any of you remember buying CDs or LPs or 8-track tapes. You'd go to the music store and you file through bins and bins and bins of music looking for that particular song or genre or singer that you liked. Well, Spotify. Sitting on your couch, you can look for that particular song or particular artist, search by them, find the song that you want, hit play, and right then and there, it's playing right over your phone. Again, making things simpler and easier. Well, what about access to the justice system? Well, that's where we come in. I don't know if you listen, do me a favor. If any of these things that I say from this point forward and the have you ever, if it strikes a chord with you, just throw a 1 into the chat. I don't know if you've ever thought about writing or revising your will. Maybe you never have had one. They say there's only about 30% of the people that have had a will done. So 70% of you should be putting 1s in the chat. I don't know if you've been notified that your personal information was compromised, or maybe you've been treated unfairly and said, let me speak to the supervisor or the store manager. Maybe you've been a victim of a breach or identity theft, signed a contract that you didn't quite understand, or maybe even regretted signing it later. Have you ever received a traffic ticket? I'd have to put a 1 in the chat. Had an insurance claim denied that you may have thought was covered and didn't know really who to go talk to. Maybe you had a question regarding your credit scores. Maybe you bought a defective product and wondered what your rights were concerning that defective product. Maybe you've had your social media hacked. These are everyday normal things that happen to us. Probably wouldn't even consider calling an attorney just because of the pure expense. Now, with the tap of the app, you're connected to an attorney for all of those everyday issues. We call this Legal Shield. This is what the app looks like on your phone. Imagine this on your phone. And with a tap of a button, you're connected to a network of attorneys. There's no need to vet them. Legal Shield has already done that for you. You will get the right attorney for your particular situation. Imagine for a minute that you're my attorney, and I come to you and I say, listen, Mr. Attorney, for 1 monthly fee, I'd like you to take care of the following things for me. First off, in the preventive area, any type of legal advice that I might need, and unlimited calls during the month. If I need some kind of legal advice, I'll pick up the phone, call you, you pick up the phone, and you'll give me that particular advice. I'd like you to review any kind of contracts or documents that I might have, and make letters and calls on my behalf, of course, if it's in my best interest. And then any type of life events that might occur, whether I want my will, living will written, If I need a healthcare power of attorney or financial power of attorney, I want you to take care of those for me. And if I were to happen to get a traffic ticket, I'd like you to take care of assisting me with that and make sure that I get the best deal possible, the best outcome from that particular traffic ticket. If I'm ever named in a civil trial, I'd like you to take care of the pre-trial and trial of that, and any kind of tax audit assistance if the IRS comes knocking on my door. I want you to be there for me. Also, 24/7 emergency assistance. I want you to go to bed with your phone. And if 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, something happens that's a legal emergency, I'm being detained for any reason, I want you to pick up that phone and answer my call and help me through that particular situation. And then, of course, any kind of family and domestic services, maybe an uncontested divorce, adoption, separation, maybe even a name change. I want you to take care of those all for one low monthly fee. Now, what the attorneys have told me is that they could never do that for one monthly low fee, or it would bankrupt our firm, or tens of thousands of dollars. I've heard all kinds of things, but never, yes, we can do that. Well, for us, it's $29.95 a month for all of those things. Preventative care, personal legal advice, contracts and documents reviewed, letters and calls made on your behalf if it's in your best interest. They'll take care of your wills, your living wills, your health care and financial powers of attorneys. You can literally, with this app, snap a picture of your traffic ticket and upload it right to your Legal Shield attorneys, and they will assist you to the best of their ability. If you're named in a civil trial, they will take care of the pre-trial and trial assistance for you there. Tax audit assistance, 24/7 emergency protection, and then, of course, family and domestic services. And if you have something that isn't particularly covered under our plan, they will give you a 25% preferred member discount off of their normal rates and take care of you in that way. Basically, it's $29.95 a month, and it's $1. It works out to about $1 a day for peace of mind. You might ask, who's covered? Well, the member's certainly covered. The member's spouse or domestic are covered. Your never married dependent children under the age of 26 still living at home, or maybe a full-time student. Dependent children living under the that are dependent children under the age of 18 for whom you are the legal guardian, or any physically or mentally disabled children still living at home. That is our Legal Shield plan. It's plain, it's simple, and it's certainly practical. Our other flagship product is ID Shield. Now, I'm sure that you know that there's ID protections out there, and our service does a lot of similar things to what other ID protection services do. We monitor and send you alerts, credit scores. They pay attention to the credit bureaus. They pay attention to all your numbers, your social security number, your passport, your driver's license. They'll pay attention to your emails and your medical IDs, usernames, passwords. Check to see if your name's showing up on the dark web, or maybe even pay attention if it's showing up very strangely in social media, as well as privacy and social media reputation management. It pays attention to things that are said on Facebook that include your name, or you're tagged in LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, and certainly a bunch more. I'm sure you already know this, but for me, it needs to be said. Your identity is not your credit score. Your identity is your brand in the marketplace. It's who you are. It's what people say about you when you're not in the room. And certainly people don't want to be embarrassed or shamed in their communities. And that's where ID Shield comes in. It pays attention to your reputation. It pays attention to your identity through these monitoring, alerts, and reputation management services. And then we have a $3 million protection plan for identity theft related losses and comprehensive restoration. Now, where we stand apart from everybody else, as far as I'm concerned, is our licensed private investigators. Their job is to do whatever it takes, work as long as it takes to restore your identity to that pre-theft status. And you just can't get that anyplace else. Most of the time, they send you a piece of paper and say, here are the 27 things you need to do to restore your identity. And I've heard people taking years to get their identity back to that pre-theft status. Our private investigators take care of that, and they do whatever it takes, again, as long as it takes to get you to that pre-theft status. We also have a suite of electronic protection, malware protection, where you can protect up to 10 devices in your home, a virtual private network through VPN Proxy One. If you're not sure what that is, if you've ever gone to a Starbucks or a McDonald's or a hotel and you're on their public network, a virtual private network hides your information from that public network and keeps prying eyes off of your important information. Excuse me. And of course, we have a password manager. It identifies and changes weak passwords if you allow it. It just doesn't do it by itself. It gives you control of your passwords and helps you protect yourself. For those who purchase both Legal Shield and ID Shield, we have credit counseling and education and privacy management. Now, for an individual plan, it's $19.95. For the family plan, it's $34.95. Again, who's covered? Well, obviously in the individual plan, the member's covered. In the family plan, the member's covered, the member's spouse or domestic partner, and up to 10 dependent children under the age of 18. And it also provides consultation and restoration services for your dependent children ages 18 to 26. I tell you what, I wouldn't be without some type of ID protection, and of all the protections I've seen out there, this is the best. And yes, I am definitely a little on the side of this for sure. And if that's not enough, we have member perks. We have over 400 different vendors that are vying for your business with discounts and promotions. Typically, this is enough to set off your LS, Legal Shield, and ID protection services. Through places like Adidas, Sam's Club, T-Mobile, there's over 400 of them, and I'm not going to take the time to name them this evening. But what I am going to do is I am going to bring my business partner back into the mix here this evening, Mr. Jim Tanner. He certainly knows how to make the money in this business and loves to have fun doing it, and I'm sure he'll share his experiences with member perks. Jim?
John, thank you so much. And what a great job, everybody. Let's hear it in the chat for John Fehrenbach. Just a fantastic job going over our flagship products, our Legal Shield and our ID Shield membership. We just love hearing about that for our associates and, of course, for the guests that are here today. It's just absolutely fantastic to be reminded about what it is that we do. Now, I'm going to talk about the opportunity here in a second. But while we're on the member perk slide, I'll just say that in my family, I can speak specifically about my personal experience, that we save more money every month on things we were buying anyway: cell phone memberships, Disney Plus, technology, hardware and software, gym memberships, travel. We're saving more every month than the investment that we make in our Legal Shield and ID Shield membership. Now, we would never be without Legal Shield and ID Shield, but the fact is that it would be it would cost us money because of member perks to walk away from our Legal Shield and ID Shield membership, which, because I'm going to talk about the opportunity here in a second, makes a no-brainer. It's a double no-brainer. It's whipped cream on the sundae. It's a hat on a hat. I mean, you have to appreciate the fact that we've brought these services within reach of the masses across the United States and Canada. And that's individuals and families, small businesses, the small businesses employees, the families of those employees, everybody. This is within reach of virtually every person in the community. And I'll also say, just because I can't move on without talking about my personal experience with the Legal Shield membership, which I saw for the first time a decade before I got involved in the business and signed up when I saw it. I remember hearing this presentation and saying, if this gentleman says a price I can afford, I am getting this. And I did. I got it that day. And the first time I ever got to use my membership was only a couple of weeks later. I had a landlord that told me that I was not getting my security deposit back. Now, I find that puzzling even today. Now, today I am a landlord. I rent properties to other people. I've never done what this guy did to me when I was 19 years old. He said, Jim, you're never going to see that money. And I hadn't broken the lease and I hadn't damaged the property. He just didn't think there was anything I could do about it. Today, we call that bullying, right? I mean, that's what was happening, is he was exerting his power and influence over somebody with less power and influence. But what he didn't know was that I had Legal Shield. So I called my attorneys to find out what I should do, and they stepped in immediately and they said, listen, you don't have to do anything else. You've done enough. You called us. We'll take it from here. They sent a letter. They overnighted a letter in a FedEx envelope to let that landlord know that they were my attorneys, that they were representing me. It also in that letter, because I saw it, told the landlord exactly what the law was and exactly what they were going to do about it if he didn't return that deposit. And you want to know what happened? 24 hours after that guy on my doorstep said I would never see that money, he called me at work and he said, Jim, come and get a check. I don't want any problems from your lawyers. That's the power of Legal Shield. That's the legal muscle that John Fehrenbach was talking about. Now, you may have come in 25 minutes ago saying, listen, I don't break the law. I don't use lawyers. I don't need lawyers. But right now, you understand that it isn't a question of if you break the law. It isn't a question of if you've ever used lawyers in the past. The question is, would you use attorneys if you didn't have to check your bank account to also check your rights? Because the fact is, in America, most people, this is how most people interact in our economy today. In the United States and Canada, this is what most people do. They realize that it's cheaper to get taken advantage of than it is to get the right thing done for them. So they just let it go. And we get pushed around by big companies, by small mechanics, by people that are not doing the right thing when nobody's looking. And what do we do about that? That's exactly the business that we are in. And I wanted to share that with you. Now, I'm going to respect your time and I'm going to wrap this up quickly, but stick with me because you heard about our flagship products. And I'm going to share with you the voices of a few people that are in this business with us, helping to bring equal access to justice to every corner of the community. But we have this entire wheel of opportunity that I don't have time to get into tonight. We heard about Legal Shield and ID Shield. We also have a way that we protect small businesses and give small businesses, the businesses on your Main Street USA, the same legal muscle and power, the same advice and advocacy as Fortune 500 companies, which means they can finally compete on the same level as these big companies that are running them out of business otherwise. We have a way that we bring Legal Shield and ID Shield into companies as a voluntary employee benefit, which means that you can help companies bolster their benefits package to attract more key talent and to retain that key talent that's so hard to attract in the first place. We have a plan for commercial truck drivers, the people that drive our economy because they drive the goods across the map, east and west, north and south, on 18-wheelers. We have a plan to protect them. And we have supplements that speak to every other need in the marketplace. Some people drive for Uber and Lyft. We have a plan to protect them. Some people have home-based businesses, a small business that they operate from their same address as their home. We have a plan to protect them, and so many others. I just want you to know there's an entire wheel of opportunity. We want to show it all to you. But let me show you the potential of this business, because whether you want to be involved with us as a career or you want to do this part-time, like I did when I got started, maybe you want to do this in your spare time so you can keep doing the things that matter most to you. Like you're a musician, you're a teacher, you're a pastor, you have passions that you want to pursue. Maybe your passion is just being there when your kids go to school in the morning and being there when they come off the bus and taking care of your family. Whatever it is, this business will meet you where you are. And here's our compensation plan. Just by enrolling members, which, by the way, just simply means letting people know that Legal Shield and ID Shield exists. I think it's fair to say that now that you know that Legal Shield and ID Shield exist and what it does, you're going to tell people about it anyway. So I'd pay attention to the compensation because we'd like to compensate you for doing the thing you're going to do anyway. And I know you will, because I saw the membership before I saw what I'm showing you now. And for 10 years, as a happy customer, having no idea about what I'm sharing with you right now, I told my mom and my grandparents and people at work and people at my church, because it's what you would do. Because this is a way to feel empowered, to live your life worry-free, to take the stress off. And once you feel that for yourself, you're going to want others to feel it as well. So enrolling members allows you to earn anywhere from $70 to $370. That's the linear income. Remember John Fehrenbach talked about the 3 forms of income? Here's what we mean. You can just invite someone to a presentation like this. And because you invited them, they go, wow, this exists. I want this. I wish I knew about this 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago. And they go to your website and they enroll, which takes about 3 minutes. And now that is an enrolled member in your business. So you earn that income. Now, maybe you take them to a coffee shop where there's a presentation going on. Maybe you share a video, a recorded video of the presentation. However you expose somebody is up to you. And we're going to teach you how to do that. But the point is, you don't have to do the presentation. You don't have to explain anything. All you have to do is invite people to learn for themselves, just like someone invited you today. And when they enroll on your website, you earn anywhere from $70 to $370. That's the first form of income, linear income. but you can also share the opportunity, which is what we're doing for you today. We're sharing the opportunity. So you can find out about great services, but also that you can create a new income stream into your family by being a participant in our program, by being an independent associate. And now you have leveraged income. So when people on your team enroll members, they earn the linear income and you earn something called an override, leveraged income. And that can be anywhere from a few dollars to a few $100s every time somebody in your team enrolls a new member, and residual income. Now, this is a way for you to get paid month after month, year after year, and even decade after decade, because all of the active members that have subscribed to the services through your recommendation become a part of your book of business. And your book of business is willable to your estate because those memberships are yours. It's called residual income. And what it means is that as long as that member is on the books and loves their membership and continues on with the subscription, you're getting paid month after month, year after year. The first customer I signed up when I joined this business in February 2004 is still on the books right now. And the only question I have for you today about that is this: what are you getting paid on right now that you did 20 years ago? And do you like the answer to that question? Because that time is going to go by anyway. And I would like for you to be able to say, listen, I got involved. I saw this on October 30th, 2023. And 5 years later, 10 years later, 15 years later, 20 years, 25 years later, I'm still earning income for something I did one time, letting somebody know that Legal Shield and ID Shield exists. And my family is earning that income. And that's legacy income to generations of my family into the future. So that's those three forms of income. We've got Fast Start to Success training to help you launch your business the right way. You have been to presentations like this, probably, where somebody has told you that they're going to help you get started. They're going to mentor and coach you, only to find out what you really got was some brochures and maybe even a pep talk, right? Like, go get them, Tiger. This is a completely different environment. We are a culture of a team that rises together. And we are all focused in lockstep on the mission of bringing equal access to equal justice to every corner of the community with these flagship products. And we want you to help us, and we want to help you win. So here's just a couple examples of how this compensation can be significant for you. Again, just protect 4 families a month, about 1 a week with the services as John outlined them for you. And as a new associate, earn $300. And as a seasoned associate, maximizing our compensation plan, earn nearly $2,300 just from signing up 4 members a month. Again, $300 to $2,292 in a month. And by the way, because of leveraged income, that can be the minimum, because you can teach a team, just as an example, 25 people on your team doing the same thing. Now you're earning $100,000 plus per year. That's $120,000 actually is the math, just by having a team of 25 people doing the exact same thing. Sharing this good news that Legal Shield and ID Shield exists with people around you in the community, business owners and individuals, families, and the employees of companies, all benefiting from this great information that you've learned tonight. A business you can start for $49 and allows you to be in profit mode by signing up 1 family for the services, which should help you to understand clearly that the business model of the company, 51 years strong, having stood the test of time, is not just to get people to join the business. If that was the business model, it would cost $500 to $5,000 to $2,500 to $25,000 to get started in the business. But at $49 to join the business right now, that's actually below the administrative costs our company incurs to get you set up as a new associate, to get your websites and technology turned on, to set up your direct deposit so you can start earning income on a daily basis every time there's a commissionable event in your business. When you or a member of your team protects a family and that income comes into your bank account 7 days a week. This is a powerful business model. And in our Fast Start to Success training, we'll teach you how you can move up through the compensation plan. But I'll just say briefly before I move on, just protect a few families, which I'm sure you're thinking right now. Some people that are sick and tired of being sick and tired, folks that are sick and tired of getting pushed around, and people that you know that would love to have another income stream into their household. We'll just protect a few families and move from the associate level to the senior associate level. Now you're earning not $70, but $90 every time somebody signs up for the services. Do that in your first 20 days or less. Earn a $200 bonus. As a matter of fact, we're going to work with you right away to help you get your first 2 promotions to move up to the manager level, earn $120 every time somebody signs up on your website for these services, and capture an additional $700 in what we call Fast Start bonuses between the $200 senior associate bonus and the $500 manager bonus. Now, I'll just say this. If you can't think of a place to put 700 new dollars in your life, in your house, into your family, no problem. You can just send it to me. But let's just start with you, okay? In all seriousness, we have a very serious business. What we do matters in the community, and it's important. And the compensation is serious. The fact is that in a spare time, part-time business endeavor, you can create an environment where you're earning full-time income while living your life, while pursuing the things, your passions and your goals that matter to you outside of business. A business you can wrap around your life instead of the other way around. A business where you can start saying yes instead of always saying no. A business that you can run not just from home, but because of our technology and your phone from the palm of your hand. So it's a serious business, but we also love to have fun. And I've asked a few people to share some thoughts with us. I'm going to go to them in a second, but our Performance Club program, which you're seeing on the screen, allows you to earn additional cash bonuses every month from $200 up to $500 a month. Folks, that's an additional $6,000 a year in one bonus program. And you can qualify to go with us on vacations all over the world. I've been walking the beaches of the world with my family, all expenses paid and no expenses spared, for years because of this Performance Club program, and we'd love to have you join us as well. Now, I said I was going to allow you to hear from some of my business partners, folks that I've been working with. We're going to start in the state of New Mexico with Miss Jerry Butler. Jerry?
Hi, thanks. Well, my background was in banking. I was a banker and a branch manager. I loved building relationships with my customers and coaching my team. I hadn't got around to retiring quite yet. Still, I was shocked when the pandemic came along and I was let go after 23 years with my bank. It turned out to be a blessing, though. It gave me an opportunity for a change I really didn't know I was looking for. A Legal Shield and I found each other. And when I realized I could be own my own business, be my own boss, set my own hours, and work from home, I was truly hooked. Now, I didn't have to ask a boss if I could take time off to take mom to the doctor or ask if I could have time off to travel to see my kids and grandkids. I started out on the business solutions side. I liked the idea that I could talk to a group of employees, but I really wasn't sure what to do at first. But with our great system, the training we have, and the working with a field trainer for a while, it was now fun to present to a group and to be able to help them get the great services we have to offer. They really appreciate that we can meet them where they're working. I transitioned over the team building side. It's great that we can all work together, answer questions, again, do some learning, and help each other as we grow. I get to enjoy the opportunity to coach and grow a team again. I love working with small business owners and their employees, and to also continue to grow a team. We each move at our own pace, and now at my 2-year mark, I've advanced to senior manager. I look forward to continuing to grow my business, but most important of all, I want to be here to coach and help my team grow their businesses. Thank you, Mr. Tanner.
Thank you very much, Jerry. And now we're going to crisscross the country. Let's go to South Carolina to Venus Powers.
I'm going to go back to Jerry for a second because I think that she forgot how high she's gotten. She's senior director, not senior manager, young lady.
Yes, ma'am. Sorry. What can I say?
You celebrate where you're at. And I'm going to celebrate with you.
Thank you. I got lost.
Well, that's okay. But I'm not going to let you forget where you're at, lady. I'm so super proud and super happy to have watched Jerry's journey. I've been with Legal Shield now for almost 5 years. I'll celebrate my 5-year in January, but I have a background in technology startup companies. And when I came to Legal Shield, I had been working at a lead generation company that was a sole proprietor company. And so, you know, when you work in organizations like that, other people make decisions for your money. And, you know, after a while, you know, that just becomes something you can't tolerate anymore. And it ended up costing me a great deal of money because I couldn't control my bonuses. I couldn't control, you know, who bought our company or who sold our company. And while I was often a part of the team, the transition team, I wasn't a part of the decision team. But now, as a Legal Shield associate, I am the decision team. I decide how fast, how slow I go. I decide what bonuses I get or don't get. I decide how big or small my team is. You know, I decide. And so, you know, making those decisions is important to me. But the one thing I found here at Legal Shield is a place to be. And you'll hear Sonora often say you have to be in the room, but you have to be here. It's not just being in the room for me, it's belonging somewhere. And the people in this grid view are not just coworkers or colleagues or people that I met once in a while at a convention or, at a Super Saturday long ago. They are daily communication partners of mine, and they have become family. They're trusted advisors. They keep us in check. I found a place where I trust the people I work with. I love to see them grow. I love to celebrate their success. I won't let them forget how far they've got. And if you're wanting to go to the next level, I won't let you forget the steps you need to take to get there, just like they don't let me forget the steps I need to get there. And so, that's what it's really become for me. While it is a great financial reward, it is soul fulfilling for me. And so that is where I'm at in the organization. So I give it back to you, Mr. Tanner.
Venus, thank you very much. And now one more voice we'd love for you to hear. We're going to go to Colorado Springs, Colorado, to Sonora Danzler.
Hey, everybody. And definitely I'm going to respect your time and make this extremely quick, because my, little journey here is I came from corporate America and I was working 70, 80 plus hours. I'm sure a whole bunch of you guys can definitely relate to that. I'm sure probably some of you are still relating to it. If you can, put a 1 down in the chat. But I was missing everything, missing all the important stuff, husband, kids, my family, faith, fitness, finances, having to work on the holidays, all that crazy stuff. But I saw this opportunity. I said, hey, I could actually do this in my spare time. It'll definitely fit into my super busy schedule. But fast forward till today, well, I'm still like super duper busy with all that stuff that I just told you about before. However, I work this business part-time. Did you hear what I just said? I work this business part-time. I follow this amazing system that we have. I stay plugged in. I'm in connection with a lot of these people on the grid view. And I work in my local market here in Colorado Springs, Colorado. I'm a local market leader. What that means is that I go out and I share the information you're looking at right now with so many people. I also work with small business owners, their employees, their families, and I'm also building a team locally and coast to coast. And I can't wait to get back out tomorrow, guys, to be able to share this information with some more people, because there's just so many people that are looking for our products, our services, and so many people that are out there that are looking for this opportunity, the opportunity that you're looking at right now. So I'm going to turn it back over to you, Mr. Tanner, sir, so we can get this done and so I can get back out there tomorrow, sir.
Sonora, thank you very much. Thanks to everybody for sharing your thoughts. And let me wrap up here. So John Fehrenbach started with us the 5 areas to evaluate, right? And let's just kind of go back to it in conclusion. What about the company? We got a company that started from need, not from greed. We got a company that's 51 years plus in business, that has stood and proven the test of time. A company that started on Harlan Stonecipher's kitchen table and today is a multi-billion-dollar force in the marketplace. And what about the need? Is there a need for what we do? Well, the fact is you can't get to millions of customers without the need being clear and the product reaching that clear need. But let's take a look at this. Let me just ask you, who do you know that's sick and tired of being sick and tired? Who do you know that's been pushed around and bullied? Who do you know that doesn't have the voice that they'd like to have? Who do you know that's sick of being on the phone saying, let me speak to your supervisor and waiting on hold? Who do you know that doesn't want it to be a catastrophe the next time identity thieves land at their front door? There's a clear need in the marketplace. And while most people don't realize the need until they see the presentation, once they see the presentation, they can't unsee it and they understand what we do. And what about the product? It isn't just, I want to make sure this is clear to you, especially with Legal Shield. It isn't just that we've taken $700 an hour attorneys and shrunk it down to $1 a day for your whole family. It's that we've made that law system responsive. The fact is that we know how many times the phone rings before they pick it up to service your need. We survey you, the member, the customer, to make sure that you're over the moon happy with every interaction you've had with the law firm and with your fraud specialist at ID Shield. We know that you're happy. As a matter of fact, today we are ranked as one of the top for customer service, top companies in the entire country because of the way we do the business. The product, the mobile app today allows our members to access the services like never before. And what about you? What about being compensated? Because the fact is, you're going to learn new things. You're going to get outside of your comfort zone a little bit to invite people to learn this information. Are you fairly compensated for that? Well, with 1 year advance commission, you're funded on day one. A business where you don't need a business plan, you don't need angel investors. You've got a $2 billion backer behind you to compensate you fully in this business. The cash flow of getting deposits 7 days a week, the ability to create leverage by having a team, and owning your residual book of business. Powerful compensation. And what about the timing? I've been here 20 years. Sometimes people say, Jim, I wish I got started 20 years ago when you did. I disagree, because the table has been set for this moment. And the fact is that the pioneer founders that came before us worked harder than we will ever have to work to bring the reality of what we have today to the marketplace. And all we have to do is stand on the shoulders of giants and work with an incredible business that today is ready for you. You can start part-time, work from anywhere. You have the ability to create a book of business that will pay you now. 30,000 of our associates right now are earning monthly residual income checks, and that is a book of business that's willable to your estate. Residual income for the lifetime of the membership, not for your lifetime or my lifetime. Training classes to help you get started, fast and ongoing weekly training and mentorship, which means that you have personal coaches, mentors, and frankly, if I may be so bold, people who've made millions of dollars in this business that came before you that would love nothing more than to show you exactly what they did so you can have the exact results they've had, but even faster than they had it. And you can do all that for a business. You can start for only $49 today. So here's how you get started. I just want you to get back to the person that invited you today. And what you're going to do is you're going to go to their website. They're going to send you a link. If you're not sitting next to each other, they'll text it to you. And here's what's going to happen. You're going to get these services, the Legal Shield and ID Shield membership for yourself and your family if you have one. You're also going to be able to become an associate for a one-time $49 setup fee. And that's going to get your websites turned on, get you set up to receive direct deposits, and get you set up in our system right away. And then you're going to have the ability to get paid daily with this incredible business. I'm sure you've already thought in the last 47 minutes of people that need to know about this that you just discovered. Now's the time to be able to show it to them. Get back to the person that invited you today, and we'll get you set up. And for those of you that are taking this moment to join us in the mission of equal access to equal justice, I say congratulations to all of you. And welcome to Legal Shield. Good night, everybody.